may know, I just moved to Michigan and it has been rough. Don't get me wrong, I am happy to be here, but between the turkey hitting my car, the air conditioning not working, the washing machine leaking, and the garbage disposal broken, it's been a thing. It's been a lot. Hi, today is August 27th, 2023, and in case you didn't know, my name is Lisa. Having a fresh start really made me reevaluate some of my goals. Things did not go to plan from my New Year's resolutions. Big surprise, they rarely do go well. But I really thought that I would be the exception to the rule. Turns out I wasn't. I mean, I don't think anybody could have expected me to be sick for like 6 months straight from like horrendous allergies, weird diseases from the little kids that I kept catching, like really weird preschool illnesses, right? And then I, get to Michigan and all these like accidents and things breaking happen one after the other, and then I myself getting sick. I was sick for like 2 weeks prior to, starting work this past week. This is the first weekend where I finally feel able enough to actually film and even edit, because I do have some videos like in the vault, so to speak, that I could put out, and I probably will. They're just gonna have to have a disclaimer on them saying this is from a while ago. I just could not get myself to edit because I was so overstimulated being at my parents' house that I could not concentrate on doing anything. And since being here, I've been sick and I couldn't concentrate on that either. So I really just had to get to the point where I could film new videos and then tell you that and then maybe put those ones out. And this is probably my third video that I'm filming today. And so I'm hoping to get all 3 of those out this week or over the next 2 weeks. And hopefully they're not that hard to film because they are primarily vlogs. I also will be returning to some fat react content and some other things that I've been doing, and also some videos. I did film me painting this room, so that's kind of cool. And then once this room is complete, I have to order curtains and finish unpacking everything and putting them up on shelves. Then I can show you the video of me painting that room because I thought that was a really cool experience. It's the first time I've ever painted a room, so it was really exciting. And I'm really, really happy with the way the color turned out. It kind of looks like a bluish, powder blue gray. It's actually a lot brighter. I just knew that when the lights come on, I would wash it out to more of a gray color. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. So anyways, those 6 months were horrible when I was sick. My allergies are so bad that the week that I left to go to the Eras tour, they put me on steroids because the histamine reaction going on in my body was so severe that I could not breathe, I could not focus, anything. Everything was so painful in my head. And the steroids were literally the only cure. Once I got off the course of steroids, it was 1 week of steroids, I finally felt better, and I haven't had that, those allergies have not come back. So it seems like it was just, my body was just so overwhelmed with the histamine that it was not able to calm itself down, and the steroids were needed. And once it was, the histamine reaction stopped. So thank freaking God that happened. But yeah, I basically needed all of May, June, and July to recover, and I thought I would start filming at the beginning of August, but as I told you, I just got sick, and now it's the end of August, and I can finally film again. Hopefully I'll have a video out tomorrow. Yeah, I hope I can edit the first one I did, and put that out tomorrow. You'll see it. It'd be about, the where have I been, the whole turkey incident, blah, 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 yeah, that one. And yes, during that time, I fortunately did not gain back any of the weight that I lost, and I lost 50 pounds overall. I did that update video you saw before this one. And I'm almost to 55 pounds lost, and that's also very exciting. But I think that goes to show that you actually can lose weight and keep it off, because there's so many fat acceptance people out there who really, really stress that as soon as you stop dieting, you're gonna regain the weight. Well, I mean, I stopped dieting, but I wasn't overeating. So I maintained my weight for 3 months. That's pretty good. And also I maintained my weight while I was sick. I wasn't hardcore dieting. I was just trying to eat at maintenance and maybe a little under on days where I could handle it. And I didn't gain back any of the weight. And it wasn't that stressful of a thing. And I still could eat food that I enjoyed and, things that were, I would eat out occasionally, but I would just make sure to eat things that were within my diet plan, right? And now that I'm done with the maintenance and I'm done with being sick, fingers crossed, I've finally started losing weight again. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm not so stressed out anymore, because I had a lot of adrenaline, I was extremely adrenal, and a lot of cortisol from all that stress, and that was making it impossible to lose weight. Because it's not like it does to some extent make it difficult for the fat to leave your body, but what it really does is it makes you really, really, really hungry, and so you want to eat more. And it's not like people think you could just be hungry, like that you could just be hungry every single day and not be miserable. It's like, no, you need to be full to be happy. And so if you can fix the thing that is making you full, you can eat to a normal amount and lose weight. And that's basically the point I had to get to myself at. I had to like make sure I was just eating to maintenance, eating things that would fill me up so that I wasn't overeating. And it worked out. Like I said, I'm almost 55 pounds lost. Very exciting. And I think it's going to be very good from here on out because I'm working from home, and that's just going to make things so much easier for my health journey. So, on to goals. So, as you may know, I am a huge Taylor Swift fan, and I went to the Eras Tour in June. That was my last video about, losing 50 pounds. And Alex and I talk about Taylor Swift every single day. There has literally not been one conversation in the past year and a half that did not include the words Taylor Swift or reference to some Taylor Swift song or lyric. I'm not even joking. Like, you could be talking about something completely different, like politics or culture, and then all of a sudden we say something that sounds vaguely like a Taylor Swift lyric, and then we have to start singing that lyric. It's a little bit of a mental illness at this point. But anyways, I bring that up because we are declaring this year my folklore era, where I'm extremely extroverted, as you might be able to tell by like my very, chipper voice and everything. But this is going to be my year of introversion, at least the best that I can do as an extrovert, because I'm staying home and staying safe, right? I am working from home. I'm going to only leave the house to go to the grocery store and the gym and, maybe travel a little bit and go on vacation, but it's still going to be like an introverted vacation. I'm not like going with friends and not going out a lot because I kind of need to rest and recuperate and really focus on my body and putting it in a place where I am not stressed out and not overwhelmed. And that is something I need to do this year. And then next year, it's gonna be all about me again, right? I can be as much of me as I possibly can. But this year, no, okay? Until May 26th of 2024, I'm gonna be at home and resting. But even within that introverted era, I am going to still have a bunch of goals that I really want to, work on and implement. And it's going to be every goal that I create is about self-improvement, improving myself in some way, because I want to be the best possible version of myself that I can be. That is like the point of my life. It's the only way I can think to explain it. Like I'm an achievement-oriented person. If you know anything about Enneagrams, I am a 3-wing 4, and achievement and accomplishment is very important to me, but also achievement within myself. So being a person who, not just to enhance things about myself, because I don't want to get to the end of my life and look back and see all these things that I didn't do, right? And I'm hoping by living by example, other people are inspired to achieve more as well. So anyways, let's go over these goals that I have to do in my folklore era. So first things first, definitely going to be trying to put out 1 to 2 videos per week as, life things come up, and hopefully I won't be too stressed because, part of the issue I was having last year, I wanted to film all the time, but I was just so exhausted. And even I would get the Sunday evening, rested all day Saturday, get the Sunday evening, and I would still be so exhausted and I wasn't ready to film. And part of this was just the physical exertion that I was under at work, just constantly physically doing things. And you think all that physical exertion would contribute to weight loss. Well, it didn't. It really didn't. But now I can rest through most of the week. I'm still mentally engaging myself, so I still kind of need that Saturday to mentally unwind, but I'm not physically exhausted. So today is Sunday, and Sunday comes around, and I can actually do things that that require more mental exertion. And this is not that taxing, but I do need to be in a headspace to film. So I'm glad that I finally have this opportunity to be back and filming, and I'm not too exhausted from work. So the second goal, I took a big break from reading fiction. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say. It's kind of embarrassing every time I bring it up, but I haven't read a lot of fiction in a long time. And I used to read it a bunch, and I had to switch to nonfiction because I get too emotionally attached to the books that I read, and I will cry for days thinking about things like Primrose dying at the end of Mockingjay, right? Like that like destroyed me when I first time I read it. And that was like really the last series that I read that I could do that. And that's not to say I didn't reread fiction that I was already comfortable with. I reread Harry Potter all the time. I reread Pride and Prejudice multiple times per year. I love Jane Austen. So things like that I reread a lot. But I primarily read nonfiction, whether it's research articles or essays or just like nonfiction type things where you're learning how to do something. Because I'm always very interested in learning how to do new things. So I will read like cookbooks and history books and different cool things like that. But I want to get back into reading fiction because I want to improve my writing. So I need to read more books that can help me learn more about prose so I could be a better writer. And right now for August, I am reading the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes because it's the 4th book in the Hunger Games, it's the prequel, and the movie's coming out soon, so I wanted to get through that book before the movie comes out so I can be ready, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm like more than halfway done now, and it's like 500 pages, it's like really long. But I can only read like a chapter at a time because I still have that like, you know, like exhilaration, overstimulation I get from reading fiction. Like it's really hard to describe, but it's just like I get too immersed is the only way I know how to explain it. And so if I read more than a chapter at a time, I get like, I can't settle down. Like I'm not the kind of person where I can read before going to bed unless I'm reading something that's nonfiction. And I have another book that's like about Enneagrams and it's also like massive, and I'm reading through that book right now. And that one I have no problem. I can read like 3 chapters in a row and then I can just go to sleep. Cannot do that with fiction. So I have to like treat fiction kind of like going to the gym. It gives my brain like a mental workout that then causes you to have like endorphins after, and then you're up for extra hours that you don't want to be up. But yeah, so I will be picking a new book every single month, and I'll tell you about it and I'll show it to you. So yeah, first one is Songbirds and Snakes, as you can see in the picture right here, because I don't want to go to my bedroom and get it. And then next month, I'll have a different book to show you. The third goal I have is really in this focal area, rededicating myself to my writing. I am part of a writer's group that I love, and I am like halfway through writing this book that I've been writing for a few years now. And I want to get to a point where I can self-publish it. Just, you know, I'm definitely leaning towards a self-publishing route, but I want to make it the best piece of work that I possibly can before publishing it. And I want to get to the best point as well before I would send it to an editor. And so I'm hoping sometime next year, possibly looking into publishing. When I say next year, I mean like next school year. I always think of the years in terms of like September to May. So not like this school year, but the next school year, right? And getting it published sometime around then. But I have to get through it first, I have to finish writing it. I have about 25% technically left still to write. And I'm trying to re-edit what I'm working on while I'm writing, because as I keep writing, there's more things that I realize I've left out. I kind of need to correct it in the moment because I'm very bad about going back after and remembering what I needed to correct. And thankfully I have a really close-knit group of friends who are really good at pinpointing what doesn't work with the characters, what doesn't work with the prose, and what doesn't work with the story, so I can really hone in on that and just make it the best quality possible that I can. And then when I do publish it, I'll tell you all about it. But yes, I am working on that right now, and so I'm dedicating myself to my writing. Okay, goal number 4. I'm going to rededicate myself to my music. Yes, music. There is a piano behind me, as you might be able to see right here, right? And it is a piano I've had since I was a teenager. It's not a real piano. It's like a Yamaha electric piano, but it's kind of like shaped like a real piano. It has pedals and everything. And I used to play the piano, I kid you not, 6 hours a day. I was going to be a music minor in college. I decided not to be because they were very old school music, and I thought I was the exception to the rule and that I could just go in there, know nothing about musical theory, and just could be a music minor, and you can't do that. And it's always funny to me because it's like I learned how to play the piano via like listening and muscle memory. I'm very terrible at reading sheet music, but I can play at least I used to be able to play very advanced piano songs just by listening and memorizing the hand movements by using the sheet music as a guide to know what the note was. But I still did not know like crap all about theory, and I need to like rededicate myself to relearning the piano. I couldn't for a very long time just due to my genetic illness, and it was causing severe joint pain, and so playing piano really messed up my joints, and I want to just really strengthen my muscles so I can get back to the place where I can play piano. I also have a guitar, and I used to play guitar at the beginner level, and I want to like get back into that and just be able to play basic chords. And I did play the Japanese, like this Japanese wooden flute when I was in festivals when I lived in Japan. And I want to like relearn how to play that. And then I also have a trumpet. I actually used to train with this really famous jazz trumpetist in Japan. And he's like one of the most famous trumpetists in the entire country. And he gave me a trumpet on my way out of Japan. And I just have not been able to practice the trumpet because I haven't like been in a space where you can play trumpet. I either live in an apartment or I lived in a house with other people. Now I live alone in my own house, so I can just play trumpet all day if I want. So yeah, that's also something I'm looking into. And I also I want to learn a bunch of songs on the piano that I can sing along to. I want to sing and play at the same time. And I used to be able to do that to some extent, but I was always just too embarrassed to play in front of other people, and I want to really improve that. I'm going to like rotate them as best I can and probably just try to play 15-20 minutes a day, just like kind of ease myself into it and not try to get to any sort of, you know, like level of skill. I just want to get to the point where I enjoy it and can just play for fun again. Because I used to be able to sit down on the piano and just play music for hours and hours on various different songs, and it was just, I had them all like memorized in my head, and it was all muscle memory, and I wanna get to that point again. Goal number 5, I am going to be sticking to my diet and continue to lose weight, and like I said, I think it's gonna be way easier now that I'm not completely stressed out. And I'm just excited to keep that up. Goal number 6, I joined a gym here in Michigan. It's just down the road. I have not gone yet because, like I said, I joined and then I got sick for 2 weeks. And then I started work. And so I'm hoping that next week I'm going to start going. And it's just like a Planet Fitness or Planet Fatness, as my friend Alex likes to say. Because they're like very much like, you can be any body type and come to this gym and no one's going to judge you. And I'm like, good. I did not ever know that people would judge me going to the gym. I thought they'd always be happy for me, but whatever. Yeah, and just like really refocus on weightlifting and building my muscle because, you know, I have an extraordinary amount of muscle. Like I have like it's kind of crazy. When I started my weight loss journey, I had like 153 pounds of muscle on my body, which is an insane amount. Like it was, cause I was like really overweight, and I still am, but it was like half my body was muscle. So my body fat percentage was not as high as most people would think at that weight. And it's funny now, I still have like 43 pounds of muscle on me, and I want to make sure I'm maintaining that muscle while I'm also losing fat. Cause like even though I'm counting that muscle weight along with my fat loss, you have to understand, if I were to only lose fat and not muscle, I would have just way more muscle than a person should, right? I would have like Arnold Schwarzenegger level of muscle, but on a woman's body. And so muscle loss is inevitable for my body type, for my size and stuff. I'm only like 5'5.5", right? So I'm probably I want to like make it like a 3-to-1 ratio where I'm losing 3 pounds of fat per pound of muscle, something like that, to make sure that I'm not losing too much muscle, but it's inevitable that I will lose some. It's just impossible to keep that much muscle on your body if you're taking away the weight of the fat weight that keeps that muscle like active and built, right? I don't know how to describe it, but you get what I mean. You have to work it and use it or else you're gonna lose it. And I'm losing the fat, so I'm gonna lose the muscle too. But I want to make sure I'm not losing as much as I am. Okay, goal number 7. I'm also still on track to put out our podcast. We had to push it back a month because like of the sickness I had, and Alex wasn't feeling well either. And we're gonna try to launch it in September this time instead. And so hopefully in a few weeks the podcast will be coming out, where we're gonna be doing lots of deep dives into the medical industry, the weight loss industry, diet culture, fat acceptance, and kind of like this weird worldwide conspiracy of why so many people are overweight. There is something causing it. And so we are going to go into that, and it's gonna be really fun and really cool, and I just gotta get on writing these episodes so that we can film them together. But the podcast is called The Fat Construct, and I will link it down below in case you want to subscribe to that when it's coming out. Okay, so that's 7 goals. That's all I'm gonna share on YouTube. I do have like 1 or 2 personal goals that I'm just not gonna talk about on YouTube. But yeah, I think that's enough for now, and I think it's manageable and it's definitely doable. I am hoping to lose like an additional 30 more pounds before January, and that will take, I was originally trying to get 100 pounds lost this year, and instead I'm getting hopefully closer to 40 pounds lost this year. We'll see what happens, but I'm hoping that all works out, and I Anyways, that's basically all for right now. I hope that you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.